screws loose, they done stripped the bolts on them. Shoulda never sent them to pick up the work for me. Sprayed the park and had my shit inside the car. Marcus Smart Boy was shooting with a 36 on him. Said if he wasn't in the rush, they was all goners. Tech curse
all right. Greetings, Chudlings. It is Monday, July 22nd. The Chuddy boys are alive and well. If anyone's worried about us, we're back for some summer session episodes. Had a little bit of a hiatus there. We like to, we work hard, like to play hard. So excuse us for a little bit of a break there, but we're back now. I'm your host, Dugouts. With me as always, Chuddy, King Chuddy. How are you tonight?
Doing well. Obviously, you're joking about the partying as we both just got back from Vegas covering the team for their 5 games in Summer League. It's tough out there. Let me tell you, that 115-degree heat is no joke. So glad to be back, but I mean, great experience. Met a lot of cool people, so can't be upset.
Massive for the brand. The brand. I think the last time we all convened here, we had just re-signed Derek White, we had just re-signed Jason Tatum, and we just found out the team was going up for sale. So that's sort of the real quiet day. Yeah, that drove us into the studio. We managed to kind of go from there. Take some time. We got a couple different things. Few other guys signing. We got some summer league we're going to get into. We're going to talk a little bit about the Olympics, a little bit about Jaylen Brown, kind of tie into that, and just sort of the summer he's having, because he's having a lot of fun out there. And then we're getting a little bit of some final free agency stuff, where we're at with some of the other rivals and things like that. So, packed show. We got a lot to kind of catch up on. But if you're looking for anything about those other signings or anything in the offseason, we did have an episode a couple weeks ago. So you can check that out if you're looking for our thoughts on that. We'll start. You mentioned it, Vegas Summer League, Celtics Summer League. They were 2-3 in the Summer League, but we got to see the rookies out there. Got to see some of the other guys. Jaden Springer, I think, had a pretty good Summer League. Go ahead. You go first. I mean, you're way more of the sicko on catching every Summer League game.
Yeah.
So go ahead and let everyone know if they didn't see what happened in the Summer League. Go ahead and let us know.
Right. Well, it was
and I'll
kind
spit fire takes.
It's kind of an interesting Summer League for the Celtics in the sense that, as we discussed last episode, like, there's arguably never been a championship team that more ran it back. So, like, usually in Summer League, you're kind of rooting for random guys here and there, like, oh, maybe this guy can break through, but, like, the roster is so set that's, like, almost impossible to even hope for. So I feel like in years past, it's been a lot of watching and being like, oh, maybe we could hit on this random two-way guy, or, like, maybe we invited this guy to Summer League and he can earn a spot. But, like, if we're being honest, everyone who's there is basically auditioning for a spot on a different team, other than the guys, obviously, we have under contract. So it was kind of easy in a sense that we really only had to focus in on a few guys. So running through, the guys who mattered, at least the Celtics, obviously their first-round draft pick, Baylor Shireman, was there. Loved what I saw out of him. Didn't shoot the ball well. I think he admitted he had some jitters in his first game, but one thing with this kid you can see right away is he just has a great feel for the game. Immediately looked like a veteran out there amongst, people with more experience than him. Just looked like he belonged right away. Was making a lot of, like, smart plays. Really good passer. Again, we talked about kind of just, like, his overall b-ball IQ and feel for the game on offense. And you can see that right away. Obviously, these teams don't practice a lot. So if anything, like, Summer League often turns into just, like, a one-on-one show for different players. But the Celtics looked like they actually had a little bit of cohesion. I think a lot of that was kind of just like the smart type of players, which Shireman is. So I thought really promising showing, didn't like light it up, but I thought he just kind of really passed the eye test. And again, when the shots were going in and he's making shots off like the catch, he's, no hesitation, pulling from deep, quick release, exactly really what you want to see. And so, like, you could totally see it watching him, just kind of exactly what the vision is, how he could pretty quickly fit into a team that obviously just won a championship. So again, I don't think anyone's expecting him to crack the rotation this season, but for picking, 30th in the draft and taking a guy who was 23 years old, I think you can kind of, again, see the vision and, all the talk about how this team's going to get so expensive. If in a couple of years, he can replace one of like Hauser or Pritchard, one of our bench guys, that'd be a great way for us to save a little bit of money going forward. And, I would say he checked the boxes that I was looking for, at least. So that was kind of the main thing I was watching. In terms of other guys, yeah, go ahead.
Did I see that he was kind of getting, like, he was playing better defense than people might have thought that he was going to play?
Solid defender.
That was like the kind of knock on him.
Yeah, like not quick foot speed, not super athletic, but very like crafty, pretty big body for the guys he'll be defending. Probably kind of plays like almost like a shooting guard wing position, but he's pretty big, plenty of bulk. So again, he can kind of move around and make his like body help him out to defend, and again, kind of use that to his advantage, where he's not sneaking up on guys for athletic blocks, stuff like that. But yeah, I think a lot of it is we just want to see him hold his own. And again, from Summer League, I thought he held up really well, guarding guys, staying with guys on the perimeter. Played a couple, the first game we played, I think the Heat, and they had Jaime Jaquez was playing for their Summer League team. A little surprising to me.
Yeah.
But
the Heat played, the Heat just won real quick. They just won the Summer League championship. Shout out to the Heat. They won a title.
Them.
Good for them. No, I'm
some serious hardware, by the way. Did you see that trophy?
Yeah,
it's like legit trophies.
Yeah. Did Jaime Jaquez play in this last game?
No. I think he only played a game or two and they shut him down. But he was playing that first game when we played them, and I remember noting that Shireman was just like locking him down. If they were switching on the perimeter, he was staying with him. So again,
it's good to see.
Hard to take away a lot from Summer League, but he's playing as a guy who we just saw was, a solid NBA rotation player in the playoffs. So, that's promising right there. Like you said, defense will probably be the big thing with him. We knew he was one of the most talented offensive players coming into the draft. So yeah, if he can hang on defense like that, that would obviously be great. Some of the other guys you mentioned, Springer was there, a little older. I mean, third year for Springer. I was honestly a little surprised to see him on the roster, but good to see he kind of came out there, blew everybody away, jumped off the page, especially, again, Springer is kind of the opposite. We know he's an absolute dog on defense.
Springer played in one game, so that must have been the one game that I saw. Right, so Springer's been playing well. All right.
No, he did. I thought he played two. He didn't play two games? He only played one?
No, I've just seen right now. It was great in the one game he played. Basically stole my whole line, this article.
But he was awesome in that game, and it was the offensive package that we haven't really seen from him. But he made multiple threes, looked really smooth. Kind of, he was one of the main creators. So obviously not something we've seen from him at the NBA level. So it's good to see him. That's a guy who's in his second or third year and is playing Summer League. That's really what you want to see. Go out there, look like you're pretty much too good for Summer League. That's what he did. They shut him down after one game. So again, he kind of passed the test. Kada, same thing. I know he played a few more games, but he looked like a man amongst boys out there. Just a zillion blocks, dunking everything.
Yeah, dude.
Again,
him
just
kind of the Summer League is kind of funny.
Yeah, doing what you'd want to see from him. So he pretty quickly passed that test. And then a little bit of a slow summer for Walshy. He even admitted, I think, that he didn't play well. But again, I think a lot of it is just kind of like trying to do too much in a role that he's not really going to play. I thought he did well on defense, made some nice plays. He came around the last game or two, had a nice game. But again, it's just funny, this stuff with context. Like if Jordan Walsh, realistic path to ever playing for the Celtics is being like basically what O'Shea Brissett was last year. And in Summer League, he's basically playing like Jaylen Brown. So it's just like he's never going to play the way he's playing in Summer League. So again, it'd be cool if he's like showing off all this offensive stuff and scoring 35 points a game, but like realistically, that's just never what we're going to ask for him anyway. So I thought he looked good in places he needed to look good.
0 for 22 from 3? He went 0 for 22 on threes. 0 threes made.
He made a few
games.
in the last game, so I don't know.
Oh, totally, this might have been before the last game. Then I'm looking at a few. Wow, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, not great. Definitely not great. But also Anton Watson, the second round pick, I think did enough to earn a two-way contract at least. I thought he looked really good, and again, a lot like Shireman, just looked like a guy who was kind of wise beyond his years out there. Very smart, very crafty player, a guy who, again, not the biggest, not the most athletic, used his body really well, super strong, very physical, not afraid of anything. He mentioned that like Al Horford was a guy he wanted to model his game after. He did hit a couple corner threes, so I mean, again, if we get another guy in that mold, even X to a lesser extent, obviously. But I thought he looked good enough. Definitely bring him to training camp, and then he was, the 54th pick of the draft. So obviously, getting anything out of that pick is a massive bonus. And I thought he looked really good. I was happy with it. So again, don't want to overreact to Summer League, but I think it's I think with Summer League, the thing is it's more important. You can take more out of poor performances than good ones, so to speak. Like guys who are dominating, you can kind of just be like, okay, well, yeah, like they should dominate. But when guys struggle, that's when it's like, oh boy, if this guy's like struggling at Summer League, that's cause for concern.
Yeah.
And I thought all the guys who the Celtics wanted to see do well did well enough that I'm not changing the math. Beyond those guys, cool to see JD Davison come back. Go ahead.
I was gonna mention Jalen House. He was a little Jalen
House,
plug.
yeah. Eddie's son, of course, absolute bulldog, and you can see it. He got teed up. Realistically,
Yes,
I'm not sure he's an
I think
NBA player, and the Celtics don't have a spot for him. But again,
No,
I
but
think that's just
is
awesome
he a
by the
Portland
Celtics.
player? Is he a
Yeah.
Portland player? Is what I want to know.
Meh. Honestly, he's probably a really good
come
guard in
on.
Europe or something. But you never know. You never know. You never know.
Well, I'd support him in anything. If he makes more money there, then go for it. But
he'll definitely play more.
That would be sick to go. Like,
yeah.
Even when what school did he go to again?
New Mexico.
New Mexico, yeah. Oh, yeah, they made the little run, dude, and he was a little bulldog then. I loved him, so.
Yeah.
And it was really cool getting to see him playing and to kind of showcase himself.
And you get to see,
obviously, good move by the Celtics.
Yeah, and just cool taking care of.
That's way cooler than Bronny James,
obviously. And a guy who's actually earned it with his play in college, too, for what it's worth. But, just a cool move by the Celtics. Again, like I said, they know that, 7 of the guys they were signing to that summer league team are not like ever going to be a part of the team, really. Just so giving an audition to a guy whose father is a Celtics legend and still a part of the broadcast, obviously, like that's family. And the Celtics, again, just another example of what a well-run organization they are, giving him a chance. And he looked good enough that, like you said, if he does catch on, get a training camp invite from Portland or something, that's largely thanks to the opportunity we gave him. So that was fun to see. Cool to see Eddie going nuts in the crowd. Cool to see Jaylen. He got a tee at one point, and then they said they didn't show him on the broadcast, but they said they're like, I think Eddie might get a tee now in the crowd too. Yeah, I was like, the apple doesn't fall far.
Well, he was going nuts during the New Mexico games too, and the tourney and shit like that. They'd show him, and he was going fucking crazy.
Yeah, full on. So that's pretty awesome. But I mean, again, other than that, like I said, JD Davison looked great, but he should at this point in his career. I like him, and he's a great main Celtic. I'm just not really sure it's ever going to happen for him. And beyond that, like,
we do support you. We do support.
Yeah, no, definitely support everyone out there, busting ass, trying hard, doing all that stuff. But like I said, beyond the guys we mentioned, I just don't think any of them really have a future with the Celtics. So cool to watch, but I think those are really the takeaways.
It's good to see Anton playing well, though, because that was. Yeah. I remember when we drafted him, you had texted our group, and we're just kind of like potential like Horford kind of, and the game against the Mavericks, 14 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 for 4 from deep. I mean, that seems pretty Al to me.
And he's a beast, I said, too. I mean, one of the coolest things I liked when I watched his tape from college was him going right at Klingon and just, like, basically getting low and just, like, almost checking Klingon with his ass and, like, going right up at him, making multiple layups over him, a guy who's, 6 feet, 6 inches taller than him, something like that. And obviously probably the best defensive player, maybe could be the best pro in this class. And to see Watson was, like, going head-to-head with him, no fear last year. Pretty cool. So, again, like what I see, like the way Brad drafted, and again, it makes sense on a team like this where, if you're gonna go ahead and use those draft picks, you might as well aim for guys who you think are maybe not the highest ceilings, but hopefully a pretty safe floor, and guys who are close to NBA ready. And it looks like hopefully we got 2 older prospects who had really good college careers and looked pretty good in summer league. So again, due to everyone we brought back, where we're at, hopefully, God forbid, we don't need those guys this year. But it's nice to see something in the pipeline that's not just like, oh, Yam Madar had another good game in Tel Aviv today. Or like, Juwan Bagard might come over. Like, I think you can really see him
ever making his way over. No way, right? There's no room now. We got too many good players signed to oblivion. Yeah.
Yam's pressure from overseas forced Pritchard to be a player.
You were high on Yam. Yam.
That was the start.
I mean, he's good. I'm sure he's good.
Any other team, I'm sure he'd be starting right now.
Yeah, he'd get reps or anywhere else. Yeah. It's a tough situation for Yam to get drafted into, really. Yeah, it's
buried.
Yeah, we got to be able to unload him for like a second or something, right?
He is the kind of, I wouldn't be surprised to see his rights get in a draft in like 2031 and everyone be like, oh, Yam Madar, I remember him. So
shout out.
That'll be fun.
Shout out. All right, yeah. So there's a little talk in summer league. I know it's like. I was talking to one of my coworkers. I was like, because he likes the Celtics, and he's like, I was like, oh, do you watch any summer? He's like, honestly, dude, like, I'm not like that into it. Like, I was like, all right, fair enough. That's fair enough.
Well, again,
I didn't watch every game, but when I know it's on, like, we do the tweets for it, so I'll try to check it out. But I mean, and that is some that's like some dark web shit.
Well, especially this year, like, there's been when we were at the top of the draft and we had Brown and Tatum out there, I was like, this is must watch. when the team just won a championship and their best player is Shireman, it's like, I get that it's not, must tune in. But for a lot of the teams out there, it is obviously really cool. And there's obviously all the top prospects are in action. A lot of the best players, even from last year, playing. So definitely a cool event. Cool to see all that stuff going on. Just from a Celtics standpoint, yeah, I can see how it's a little bit tough to get fired up and motivated for those games. But like I said, the sickos out there, good to watch and, good to see. Hopefully, again, we're just trying to hit on the next, like, Sam Hauser for us. Some teams are like, we're looking at our entire future out there. This is the core of our team. With the Celtics, we're like, if we could find another Hauser, another Pritchard, and even another Caden.
I don't know if you did that. I don't know if you did that on purpose, but I'm going to stop before you list other names because you just led us to a perfect transition to some of the other contracts. I feel like we that Summer League is fun, but we talked a lot
very
about
fun.
If you got any more questions about Summer League, you can definitely.
Well, yeah, I didn't know if you had any other non-Celtic Summer League thoughts at all.
I just made a joke about how it's like crazy to even watch a Celtic Summer League game. Oh yeah, I thought the Utah Jazz Summer League team really showed some potential. Yeah, oh wow,
they did. Well, yeah, the Jazz
Danny's
exactly. The Jazz are one of those teams where if I was a fan, almost their entire team was out there on their Summer League roster. So that was good to see. But I do want to take a minute. One of the guys I buried but I wasn't high on in our pre-draft. I immediately back off that take. Reed Shepherd looks like a star for the Rockets. That kid is sick.
Yeah, dude. It seems like he's like a gamer too. It's like
super athletic.
His mom, I guess, is like wicked intense. Like you guys.
Well, his mom played for Kentucky college basketball. His dad did too. Made the pros. Didn't have a great NBA career, but two elite basketball parents. And yeah, like you said, he just looks like a gamer, and looks like he's getting to the basket so easily. I mean, he to me stood out more than any other prospects. So, like, Klingon. With his defense, Edey looked honestly like a beast. Edey, I think, shot up to favorite for Rookie of the Year after a few of his performances. He looked really good.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And he was going against Walker Kessler from the Jazz, too, who's like a legit NBA player. And he was making him look small. He had maybe the play of the summer with that tip-in on the missed free throw to send that game to overtime. So he looked good.
You are a sicko, huh?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah. I'm the resident sicko.
Shout out, Chud. Gotta be. Shout out, Chud. Yeah. So yeah. Someone's gonna be a sicko, I guess.
But
I'm trying to look up, do they have the
Rookie of the Year odds?
But
I bet it's Shepherd and Edey. I would imagine. But again, Shepherd, I wasn't sold on him, and yet again, it's a situation where it looks like John Calipari completely.
Zach Edey plus 600.
There you go. Risacher, who looked solid, not awesome, but he looked fine.
Plus 700, then Reed Shepherd's plus 18, then SAR's plus 850, then it's other people way
SAR looked abysmal offensively. I don't know if you saw that one game. I think 0 for 15
Reed Shepherd
shooting.
Plus 800. I feel like that's something.
I feel pretty good saying that Reed Shepherd might be the best prospect now. I guess the thing is it's just going to be an interesting situation in Houston because they now have so many good young players, and he's another one to the mix. So it's like, what does this mean for Jalen Green, Amen Thompson, Cam Whitmore, even Şengün, all these guys who are trying to get their next deal? Like, they have like 7 or 8 really good young prospects, and I'm still not sure they know who are like their guys. But based on what I've seen, like Shepherd could push for those minutes right away. He looked awesome. So I'm going to already take the L on that one for not being sold on his status as a draft prospect. He looks like the total real deal. Castle looks good.
While you're doing that, I'll go ahead and say, I'll go back to, if you've listened to the show from the start of the last season, I'll go back and say that Wemby had a good rookie year. Because I was tough on Wemby.
That seems justified.
In the spirit of eating our humble pie.
That's
Wemby
big
guy,
of you.
He actually is all right. He's not so bad, that Wemby
That is
guy.
big of you. That is very big of you.
He survived his first season. That was like, I think I said he played 34 career games. I think I had some crazy number.
Yeah,
like that.
He not only survived it, he was
crazy shit.
Very durable and obviously just awesome. And already has people talking like, the sky's the limit, and you can see why. So,
all right.
Yeah,
credit to us.
Good Wemby talk. But yeah, other summer league stuff. Modest Buzelis for the Bulls looked awesome.
Oh my god.
What?
I didn't realize you had more names. Go ahead. We're almost 20 minutes into the podcast. All we've done is talked about Summer League.
Yeah, Summer League's awesome.
All right. For the sickos,
Yeah, no, Alex Sarr, like I said, a little, I don't want to say panic meter, but he had an 0 for 15 shooting game in Summer League. I don't think
I
he had
saw
a 3.
that. Why isn't he getting ripped on?
He is. In Summer
I
League
mean,
circles, he is. But
it's
the
not
thing
reaching
with-
my algorithms. I gotta
so
dig
the
deeper.
thing with
Like,
Sarr, again, this is why Summer League can be such a tough context. He's the number 2 pick. Everyone assumes he's going to go out, be like some superstar putting up like 30 and 10. That's just not who he is. I think I compared him before to Nick Claxton. So picture Nick Claxton in Summer League trying to just like do everything. It's like, that's just not who he is. Like Sarr is going to be a good play finisher. He's a really good defender, solid passer, which I thought he looked good at that stuff. But he's going out there trying to create jump shots and putting up 15 shots. He's going to look like shit. That's exactly what happened. Obviously a terrible shooting game. I'm not like overly concerned about him. I just think it's kind of funny to see that stat line put up in Summer League for the number 2 prospect or whatever. So yeah, some interesting stuff. I mean, again, maybe we'll do a bonus pod where I just riff by myself for Summer League for 2 hours. But I guess we can leave it there unless you have any Lakers thoughts on Bronny and Connect.
No, yeah, I was actually just gonna look at, because all I see about Bronny is just like, I'll just see like a video of him just missing, completely airballing a shot. Like, was that?
He had a couple. He came around at the end.
Is this,
oh no, that's
deep
accurate.
Cuts here?
He started, I think, 0 for 14 on threes, multiple air balls, some turnovers. He just it was
Jordan Walsh
rough.
0 for 22.
Yeah,
so
not good. Also not good.
Bronny.
Jordan Walsh is not 6'1".
Have you seen the Skip Bayless basically saying he thinks like Bronny James is like already better than LeBron?
Yeah.
I mean, unreal.
You gotta love the
That's
commitment to the
level
bit.
shit. Oh yeah, no, that's just great. So I love that. Like, he's already more. I think he's already more clutch than his dad. I think was what he said.
Which I love. Like,
That's
what
awesome.
could he possibly be basing that on?
Like,
Certainly nothing he's ever done in an organized basketball game at any level. Like
what situation? What situation did he see that he waited to work the next day and was like, I gotta take for you guys. You're gonna love
that
this.
Is
I mean, that's so.
That's why he's
is
the best.
Bronny like? Is he going to be on like the Lakers roster? Is he going to be like whatever their G League team is?
Fully guaranteed deal. I mean, he'll
So, but
probably
that
play
doesn't-
for the G League, I would imagine.
Right.
But, I mean, he has a real
And then just get
contract
called
and
up every
roster
now and then.
Yeah, it'll be it's exactly the same contract basically that Walsh had last year for the Celtics.
Yeah. So yeah, but we didn't. I mean, Walsh wasn't around for like a whole lot until like towards the end. But, like, most of the season he wasn't with us. So.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
All right.
Who knows? Because it's Bronny and it's Rich Paul and it's the fucking Lakers and it's a shit show. But if this was any normal situation, I would tell you, yes, he's going to play 90% of the time in the G League, and maybe we'll be with the Lakers roster when they're missing a bunch of guys or whatever. But yeah, no, I mean, he obviously shouldn't be playing at the NBA level. And honestly, watching it a little bit because there was a Celtics Lakers game I was watching pretty closely. There was a couple moments where I was like, I honestly almost just like feel bad for this poor kid, like what his distant spectacle that this has turned into. The poor kid's just out there trying to make a jump shot. Like he didn't. I mean, I don't know how much he like has any control over his own life, but it was almost just like sad that. The crowd gave him like a standing ovation when he hit one like elbow jump shot in the third quarter to finally score. It was just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and I don't want to like dive into like the fit, but it's like I wonder if like there's any part of him that's just kind of like, come on, Dad. Like, I don't know. Like, who knows? Maybe he they get pumped up. Maybe it works again. Like whatever, different strokes, different folks.
Sure.
Did you see Jaylen too got kind of caught saying he doesn't think he's a pro? I think her name. I think. Well, I mean, every time you see those like lip reading things, it's kind of like
I saw it enough
this one
times.
looked pretty. But then the fact that he said that tweet, that when he said the tweet, where he was like, "That's all." Like, I feel like he definitely did. But I think it's like Ellie Duncan or whatever. She's on ESPN. I saw a post. She like Elle Duncan. She said it like perfectly. She was just like, that's not even like that's not hating. That's just like a guy who's earned the right to make like an assessment. Like it wasn't like he was like. I think she said like if he said he's trash, like that'd be like hating. But it's just kind of like. Look, right now he's just not a pro. And like that, I think the fact that he'll be playing the G League sort of backs that up.
It was a totally normal comment. He was sitting courtside watching the game with his girlfriend and Angel Reese. So two, again, professional. Well, I think Kaiser just got cut. But again, yeah, it's 3 people at a game talking basketball. And like you said, all he said, he's like, I don't know if Bronny's a pro. And I think Kaiser, however you say her name, said, I think he'll be in the G League, and Jaylen said something like, well, because of his name, like, I don't think he will, but he should, or something. But that's like a normal conversation that 99% of the people in the crowd could be having it.
Everyone's having it.
And again, I don't think that's like, I don't think you should take that as an insult. Like, based on everything that's happened, that's a pretty like leveled take, I thought. And then, I thought his tweet, too, was saying, like, yeah, it's sick. It's good for him. Happy for him. Just, like, I don't think he has to, like, apologize for his opinion.
Prick off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. Do you think Kaiser, and I'm probably butchering how you pronounce her name, but do you think Kaiser and Angel are friends, or is that
Are you calling her Kaiser?
how do you say it?
Like
Kisri?
I mean, I don't even know, but
Oh,
you're
I
saying
don't
it like Kaiser, like the guy, like the
Kaiser Wilhelm.
German World War I. Yeah.
It's Kysre. So if you've got a better pronunciation, we can go with that.
Let me see here.
She's more known for. Let's just say she's more known for her looks than her game.
It's definitely not Kaiser. Kisri?
I don't know.
Let's go Kisri.
Anyway, based on the vibes and the whole look and watching the body language, do you think that her and Angel are just friends and teammates, or is that a Jaylen might have two girlfriends situation?
Dude, I'm not. That's
for a different podcast to handle.
Yeah. That's Chuddy's After Dark. You say that for your own solo pod. I mean, I don't know. That'd be sick. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know how people get down. I don't want to, but like, I don't think that it's a non-zero. Is that the right thing? Like,
it's
like
definitely
a non-zero
non-zero
possibility.
it's definitely.
So, who knows? Yeah.
Summer of Jaylen rolls on.
Yeah. We're getting into the Jaylen summer.
Yeah.
So Bronny, I guess that was a 4-year deal.
Yeah.
That he signed. Okay. Well, perfect. Speaking of 4-year deals, I'm not going to lose the transition we had. Speaking of 4-year deals, as far as really good 4-year deals go, Sam Hauser signs 4 years, $45 million. I literally couldn't believe this when this came through, just because of how low it was. Like, he must just be. I mean, he's like Wisconsin. He's just like $45 million is more than I'll ever need the rest of my life. But it's pretty fucking sick. I mean, he obviously did we pick up his option, or he didn't have the option.
Yeah, so he's only making like $2 million this year. But
who had the option? Someone had the option.
It was a team option. Yeah,
team option. We picked it up. Uncertain beyond now. We all loved Hauser. Played really well throughout the whole season. I know that he had people saying a little struggles in the playoffs. I think that he played still pretty well in the finals.
Though. One bad series.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to hold it against him. I love it. 4 years, $45 million. I mean, that is literally, I think you said that's going to be like a mid-level exception, like price tag by the time.
It's already lower than the mid-level
2029 season.
It's lower than the mid-level.
Well, why did you say that earlier?
It might be the taxpayer's mid-level.
Oh, taxpayer. Right.
Well, it's a big difference in money, but still, that's the point. Is like, I think if he hit the open market next year, could he have gotten more than the mid-level? Like, could he have gotten like 4 for 50, 4 for 60? Maybe, probably.
I think so, dude. Look at
I think so too. And I mean, again, look at a guy like Duncan Robinson, who I think is probably a worse version of him, at least now. When he hit the market, I feel like that was a fair, like, kind of similar player. And Robinson got like $21 million a year. Obviously, that immediately looked like a terrible contract, and now is like almost untradeable. So I get why they didn't want to do that. But again, I think this is kind of similar on a smaller scale, but of what we talked about, even with like the Jalen Brunson situation, where it's just like a guy who hasn't made a ton of money, is probably more than happy to be where they're at. And at the end of the day, like, he just locked down $45 million for the next 4 years to stay in this awesome situation. So it's like, could he have ridden it out, gone to free agency, maybe got more money? Yeah, definitely possible. But again, I think he's just like, I'm locking in my guaranteed $50 million career earnings right now. And like, I'm on this awesome team where I know I fit. And they want me and all this shit. Like, take that security again, because going into free agency, you never know. And I mean, we're seeing that. We've seen it in years past too, where you think you're going to get a deal. I mean, look what just happened to Caleb Barton. He lost like $30 million by going into free agency, thinking bad advice from his agents. And again, that's another thing with these aprons too. It's like all the money is for stars, and then it dries up fast, and there's not much money. So you're seeing a lot of guys who missed out on big deals settling for like minimums and exceptions that are probably way below what
so
they think their market
at
value
4 years. At 4 years, $45 million, based on the other signings this year, that's basically Isaiah Joe was 4 years, $48 million. Aaron Wiggins was 4 years, $45 million, and Royce O'Neal was 4 years, $42 million. So he's right around. I mean, I would say those are all like pretty fair. Like I don't know,
good solid role players. I mean, Joe is very similar, obviously a sharpshooter. Wiggins and O'Neal, a little different type of players.
Tobias Harris, 2 years, 52 is still that's
pure comedy.
So funny.
But what did Buddy Hield get with the Warriors? I feel like he's kind of
Buddy Hield got
similar
4
to
years,
Hauser.
$37 million. So he got less.
I think Hauser's better at this point, honestly. Like,
I think so. I think so.
I thought good deal for both sides. Again, could he have squeezed a little more? Sure, but again, when the money's so high, $45 million, like, it's still to us, we can be like, well, he could have made this, could have made that. It's 4 years, $45 million for a guy who, you know, a couple of years ago we were like, is he ever going to be an NBA player? So awesome for him. Awesome that he's hanging around, and just I think another great deal for the Celtics. And again, we keep making these deals, and it's like if nothing else, these are all going to be good contracts. Like there's no way at any point I feel like that's not going to be a movable contract at the very worst. So
yeah,
all around, I think just
we
huge win.
literally just have everyone
parties
everyone re-signed through forever,
pretty much.
Just at the whole John Henry isn't a mystery buyer. We're good.
Yeah, pretty much. It is pretty great. And Bobby Marks too. I think I might have tweeted it out, but he's like the cap expert for ESPN. Tweeted out some good contacts after the Hauser deal, because I think a lot of people were in his mentions just being like, how can the Celtics like do this?
Right. Explain it to us like I'm a 5-year-old.
Well, so
I can't make sense.
So in terms of the how they can do it, again, the Celtics haven't even
re-sign all your own
exactly.
players.
They haven't even hard capped themselves because they just keep re-signing their own guys. Also, almost all of these deals, other than like Kata, Luke, some of those are extensions. So like the White deal, the Tatum deal, the Hauser deal, those don't even kick in this coming year. So like that's a year down the road. Yeah. Those guys were all just entering the last year of their deal, and they got extended. So like legally, the Celtics can keep paying these guys $1 zillion. Like we could have a payroll that's over $1 billion if the team wanted to pay it. Like that's legal with the guys you have. Well, legal obviously as much as you're allowed to pay them. But my point is, you could max like all your own guys if you really wanted to. You just would have a ridiculous bill and all that. But the kind of like good-ish news about it for the Celtics was that Marks was pointing to is that like everyone's throwing up these graphics and numbers about, well, like this is what the Celtics payroll is going to be in the 26th season and the 2027 and this and that, and it's all true. But also like we see it year to year, and I think every year we still forget and get sticker shock about how much things change. And like a 10% increase every year in the cap also means like a 10% increase in the second apron. So he was projecting that by like 25, 26 or 26, 27, the second apron is going to be like 225 million anyway. So it's like not that crazy that we can make a few moves. And again, this ties into what we were talking about earlier in the show, where 2 years from now, where it's like we've been in the second apron 2 years in a row, we still have a stacked team, but we really need to get out of it. Maybe that's when you trade Pritchard's $7 million or Sam's $8 million. And then you expect Shireman to step in on a $2 million deal, like something like that. That's going to be how you keep this thing rolling, is hitting on guys like that, making shrewd moves like this trade last year at the deadline when we traded for Xavier Tillman, who we also brought back on a 2-year minimum deal. Obviously, Jaden Springer, like those kind of seem like weird deals in the moment, but it's like, again, we're kind of investing in younger, cheaper players who can hopefully take these role players because, eventually we're not going to be able to pay 8-10 guys big bucks. We're going to need some of these guys to hit. And, hopefully we do. But again, these are all kind of down the road problems for now. Everything is absolute gravy in Celtic land. You really not much more you could ask for an offseason from a team who really had like nothing they could do. Just, all right, we'll just re-sign, lock up every single player on the team.
I mean, it's crazy that like everyone we have is sick too. It's like there's not even any. It's quite an unbelievable sort of, I feel like, sports like phenomena where it's like if you just like keep bringing back the whole team, then there's no issues. You mentioned Tillman. He's coming back 2 years. I think he's making like about like $2 million or whatever each of those years. Not a lot, but I think for him, that's kind of, I don't know. I think that's kind of him being like, this is a good spot for me, as I can learn a lot from a better player. And then, maybe in 2 years, maybe he resigns, or maybe he goes and is able to make more money somewhere else. Because I thought he showed a lot of promise. I think giving him a full year in like our training camp and shit like that, definitely, I think is going to be huge for him. I think he kind of getting traded mid-season is always a little bit difficult to kind of gel.
For sure.
He did great in the opportunities he had. So I have no doubt that like a whole season of him with the team, with the program, with everything like that, and is going to be
another year older of Al and injured Porzingis. The opportunity is going to be there from day one, and I think he's ready for it. And again, I think, what does it say about this team that, again, we traded for him? You thought, all right, this like might be a rental. Almost certainly, I think could have gone more than the minimum. To me, that is like absolutely crazy. Like, he's really good and was just willing to take less to come back to a team that he had only been on for a few months. Just goes to say how awesome that locker room is. Like exactly. How many guys at that point, he's only still in his 20s, like still trying to make a name for himself, trying to make some money. And he's like, no, I want to come back here on a minimum, stay as part of this team. Like, I mean, I hope it pays off for him. I'm thrilled about it. I thought that was like, honestly, one of the most surprising things to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like front page news, but I was shocked to see that he re-signed 2 years, no options at the minimum. Is just like stealing. I almost feel bad. Like, there's no way he couldn't have got a way better deal. I mean, like, The Nuggets use the full taxpayer mid-level on Dario Saric. Like, you're telling me Tillman's not a better two-way center right now than Saric? Like, give me a break. He's making not even. Sarge's gonna make more in 1 year than Tillman's gonna make in 2. Like, and he's 4 years older. He just got hurt. Like, I don't know. He's just one example. I don't mean to pick on Dario. He's a good player, but just another example.
Absolutely shit on it.
Yeah, it's the first guy who came to mind for
that guy.
a comparable type of role on a contender. But just like every single deal just feels so great. And the thing is, it's such an expensive team, obviously, and there's all most expensive team ever. They're just paying everyone, blah blah blah. But it's like, look at every single deal. I don't think there's one deal that you wouldn't say is like pretty team friendly.
Yeah, like we're not getting burned.
Obviously,
now,
right, and they're not bad deals. Like, yeah, we have Tatum and Brown to maxes, okay, but they're like 2 superstars that just won a championship. Like, they're worthy of that.
Right, they're gonna be max. That's
White,
like
if anything, took a discount. Porzingis is on 2 years, $30 million a year. Like, that's pretty fair for right now. Like, that's awesome. Drew's deal is, I think, about the same, right? He's on for like 3, 4, 120, 130 something.
$30
like,
million a year too. Yeah,
that's every single one of those deals. I'm like, yeah, that's just like a fair deal. If anything, these guys could probably get more. So yeah, that's just what happens when you have a stacked team, I guess. But
yeah, no,
not a single contract that you're like, oh, it's a bad deal, or like that won't age well, or like we'll have trouble moving that again. If they needed
Drew's
to pivot,
making like Emmanuel quickly money, like that's a great deal.
Right. White's making less.
Yeah, White's making like $25 million a year, right?
I think it's
like
closer to 30, but still.
Hartenstein money?
Yeah, pretty much. But Hartenstein's good. But
yeah. Yeah, no, I love it. I love what the team's
all
doing.
great
We're at. Everyone's signed. Yeah, it's kind of funny. There's literally it's like a club, like one in, one out. We're like, anyone else
and again,
it's
it really
it's crazy.
I hope Celtics
I can't remember a time where it was like the whole entire team with any
right.
Basketball is probably the easiest one to do that with because it's a smaller roster, but
yeah,
can't remember any time where it's just like we just won and we have no difficult decisions to make.
Right, even the role players, and I hope Celtics fans aren't taking this for granted and are appreciating this offseason because like it really doesn't happen. And with the way the NBA moves now, and sports in general, but I feel like especially the NBA, it's such a 24/7, 365 day league that it's like you win the title and the next day you're already on to like. All right, like we have to say bye to so and so and so and so, and like it just doesn't happen where you're like literally went out and just brought everyone back. It's absolutely nuts. I shouldn't say everyone. No O'Shea Brissett, no Svi, but as everyone as you could possibly be realistically. So just
in the arms of the angels.
Pumped. Like as a Celtics fan to win and then have this off season, just absolutely
it's pretty sweet. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of how everything's played out over the last year. Big time.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. All right. You got anything else on any of like the signings or anything like that? Are you ready to move on to America?
Yeah. Let's talk some Olympic ball.
All right. Oh no, I was going to talk about all the other stuff happening in America. You meant? Oh no, I'm just kidding. No.
There's other stuff happening in America? What? Other than Summer League and the Olympics?
We already talked about Summer League.
Yeah, I'm confused.
What are you talking about? All right. Yeah, so Team USA has been – they had a few exhibition games. I don't know when the Olympics actually started, July 26th, I think, or something. 28th.
Well, the 28th is the first game, I guess. The Olympics might start earlier.
Yeah. I think the opening ceremony is
Friday.
26th.
The opening ceremony is a Friday night, and then the games will start Saturday. I think the first U.S. basketball game is Sunday.
All right. LeBron, I saw, was picked as the flag guy.
Yeah.
That's big. You need a flag guy. Tall guy, that's good.
First basketball player ever, I believe.
Team USA, so Drew and Tatum were already on the roster. That was already known. Kawhi Leonard's knees weren't agreeing with him. I know everyone's shocked by that, but what do you mean?
Oh, it's a controversy now. The Clippers are saying that he was totally fine. He participated in everything, and they thought it was like bullshit that they sent him home. They were pissed because the USA said it was like a mutual decision by everyone, and the Clippers were like, no, it wasn't. Like he looked good at the scrimmages and wanted to play, and this is bullshit.
Wait, so Kawhi, is it the Clippers or Kawhi saying that he's fine?
Well, the Clippers are saying on behalf of Kawhi that this is bullshit and that he was fine and that he was playing and practicing.
So what? So why would they say
Team USA is basically saying they couldn't trust him to play, seemingly.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I didn't know all that.
There's a bit going on there. This is par for the Kawhi.
Let's table that for a second. The only reason I brought that up was because that's how Derek White got on the team. So
right.
We have 3 Celtics on the team. The team
And one
the last
notably
2
not
games.
on the team.
Yeah, I'm saving that for my transition at the end into the Summer of Jaylen. But yes, Jaylen not on the roster. We're going to get into that. So they almost lost to South Sudan. They're 40-point favorites. They're losing at halftime, almost lost the game.
Which just
they played,
hilarious spread, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, how do you even handicap that matchup if you don't like anybody?
Crazy.
You got to, they probably just spin a roulette wheel or something like that and let the wheel pick.
I mean, it's a 40-minute game, keep in mind, too, in FIBA. It's 10-minute quarters. So that's assuming you're going to win.
So you're saying that
by a point a minute.
South Sudan plus 40 was easy money?
Yes.
Wow, I should have fired up a Chuddy bomb.
South Sudan's good. They have 4 NBA players and a guy who's going to be a top 5 pick. Coach with NBA experience, guy made the roster with NBA experience. Just no respect for the former Lost Boys. It's a good team. It's a good team.
I was looking at South Sudan, just some things of them getting to the quarterfinals or something like that. I thought they might be a dark horse for that.
Yeah, love it.
I was looking at the odds and stuff. So stay tuned. Maybe we'll have a South Sudan bomb. But again, either way, we shouldn't be beating them by 1.
That's all great.
Germany today, we have Schroeder and Tice looking like Shaq and Kobe.
FIBA legends.
We end up beating them by 4. But yeah, I mean, we've talked a little bit about it. I think we both are kind of of the belief that Kerr is kind of an idiot. He's sort of his rotations aren't making much sense. I think there's a lot of this deference to the older guys there. I personally, I guess I'll just say what I was thinking. I think it's kind of crazy, and I probably mentioned the last pod. I think some of those guys, I get the whole legacy thing, but it's I don't know. Kind of feel like last Olympics might have been legacy for for some of them, I don't know.
None of them really went last Olympics. The only one who was there was KD.
Boy, goes.
Last year was weird because it was right after the pandemic, and remember that it was
a shitty Olympic.
I mean, it was just weird. It was KD. I think the guys who were on this team, I think it was just KD, Booker, Tatum.
Oh yeah, because wasn't the Olympics in the middle? It wasn't 2020, right?
The finals ended during that Bucks Suns final because remember Booker and Holiday joined them straight from the finals. There's literally because it was backed up because of the pandemic. It was just weird in general. But anyway, a lot of those guys weren't there. The other funny thing is too, I saw people being I saw someone tweeting out being man, this Team USA's fucked once LeBron and Curry are gone. It's LeBron hasn't played in 8 years, and Curry's never played. This is Curry's first Olympics. He's never played on Team USA before in the Olympics. So that's just false. Right. Whoever's saying that, it's just not true. It's Durant, really, is the guy who's been the best U.S. basketball player.
All right, well, I was definitely just going to say that Curry didn't need to necessarily be there, but if he's ever has been there once, he deserves a current call, I guess. But
I don't even say they shouldn't be there. I think it's cool that all these guys want to go do it. They just shouldn't be the main guy.
They shouldn't.
Right.
Yes,
exactly.
So the thing that me and you both sort of, and you had already been out, the thing that made me be all right, maybe Curry is just fucking dumb.
He's a Curry merchant.
He said the big 3 that he's focusing on is LeBron, Curry, and Embiid. That's just, to me, is bananas. I get Curry because whatever, that's his guy, sure, whatever. LeBron, but Embiid, that was the 3-headed dragon thing where it's why the fuck? First of all, Embiid is looking awful with the FIBA rules.
Yeah.
Didn't he foul out in the South Sudan game?
Looks terrible.
So
he's completely out of shape.
Yeah, and it's I thought his knee was fucked.
Yeah, he's it's always fucked. I think someone was saying that maybe the powers that be at USA guaranteed him a starting spot for him to play for them instead of France. Don't know if that's true, but honestly, it would make sense based on watching this because AD's been way better. Anthony Davis has been one of the best players on the team. And Bam Adebayo has also been one of the best players on the team. Embiid has probably been the worst player on the team, honestly, in the discussion. Certainly doesn't really look great out there. And again, just a weird fit when it's all these guys. It's FIBA ball is fast, it's athletic, it's flying around. He just looks slow. He slows the game down.
Slow, and he just tries to flop and everything. And
yeah, I get having him on the team. Just you play some team that has no bigs and you can throw him in on the bench for 5 minutes and just run through him for 5 minutes. But again, running the team through the lineup that. First of all, the Embiid thing's crazy. Like I said, I feel there almost has to be some agreement that they promised he was going to start because AD and Bam have both been way better, and the team has looked better with both of those guys on the floor. It's looked awesome on both ends. Kerr's obsession with Booker is really weird. I have no idea what he does and why he plays so much on this team, and it's just Kerr seems to view him in a different light than everyone else sees him. Like, that to me makes absolutely no sense. LeBron is playing awesome, so it's hard to really knock that one.
I know. I was shitting on him, but I kind of was.
He's like basically carried them to the last two wins.
Really well, yeah.
I'm even fine with that. And like you said, even Curry, like, that's fine. It's not like Curry's washed. Like, he's still unreal. Curry and LeBron happily deserve to play. I'm assuming Durant would have been part of it, which again, that's deserving to. Fine, whatever. Having Embiid in there is just stupid. And Booker as the fifth starter, that one I don't even know. Like, that makes no sense to me at all. And it's no surprise the team is clearly better when they go with their second unit, and it's like Edwards, Tatum, White or Holiday, and then Bam and AD. Like, so
yeah.
Again,
I like
we'll
that
see what happens when the game begins. These are exhibition games. Everyone's freaking out like this is completely unprecedented. People have, the memory of a goldfish, because last Olympics we literally lost our first two exhibition games. We lost to Nigeria. And everyone was absolutely panicking. And then we came out after that and lost to Australia, and everyone thought the world was ending. And then we won our last few exhibition games, went on to the Olympics, didn't lose a game, obviously won the gold medal. So freaking out because a couple of exhibition games were close historically, not a great idea. And I think, again, it kind of makes sense. For the USA, these are just that, exhibition games. For South Sudan, like, you could see they were playing like, this was the biggest opportunity. This was like the final scene in a sports movie, and that they're trying to like be the heroes of. So obviously some like differing motivations going on there. I think, reading too much into this is crazy, but I definitely think there's something to be said for like, all of these countries are good. It's like long gone are the days where like, the other countries are lining up for the dream team's autographs after the game. Like, everyone we play has NBA players or guys who are like really good in some of the best leagues in the world. And if you no show or take a team lightly, like, any team could go out there and win in this tournament. There's a lot of good teams, a lot of stacked teams. USA definitely still has the best team.
Sudan, though.
We didn't.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we didn't. I guess it's fair, but
but
it was close. It was close.
But again, we literally
can't believe
lost.
You didn't tell anyone that
to
South
Nigeria.
Sudan was such a lock, though.
No one asked.
You gotta let the people know when you got something like that.
Yeah, well, I noticed you haven't been doing
So
summer league chuddy
food
bars,
points,
so I don't know what's up with I don't know what's up with that, but I've been sending you game keys. You just haven't been publishing them. I don't know why.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. We've been on a little siesta's a nap, right? What's the fancy word for a vacation? Is there one? Is it like
Holiday.
a European
We're on holiday.
word for vacation?
We're on holiday.
Yeah, we were on holiday. We were on true holiday.
We were in Vegas for summer league. It's not.
Yeah.
Holiday has looked like one of the best players. White, since getting there, immediately looked like one of the best players. White, so the first game he got there, he didn't play the first half. That was the Sudan game. We were down, I think, 16 at half. He played the second half, had the best plus-minus on the team. I think led the team in assists in the second half, and was just the exact Derek White that we all know and love.
You want to win, put Derek White in.
Yeah. I also think it's funny when this started and someone in Tatum's interview was like, who would win, the Celtics or Team USA? And he was like, Celtics, obviously, like, that's my team. And everyone was like, oh, ha, 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 ha. I'll tell you what, you watch 5 minutes of this. No, the Celtics would beat the shit out of this Team USA team. Like, Steve Kerr is not a good coach. Would this
team have the 3 Celtics, though? Would it
no,
be
you'd
like...
have to give them the Celtics, but
yeah, would it be like
I don't know. It'd be like a simulation. Like, they'd be on both teams, I guess, or something. But no, I mean, the
someone's got
only
the
shot.
Sponsor. The sponsor's got to be able to do that. Which great time to mention. Chuddy's Corner podcast sponsored by Nick Prano Real Estate. Check out nickprano.com for all your real estate needs. But Nick Prano Real Estate has 2K. He should definitely fire that up.
He definitely should. Maybe
that should happen.
Sure, we can get that going. But I mean, that's I know Brandon and me watching this, just the way this team plays, like, the Celtics would rip them to shreds. Team USA shot 14 threes today. Like, Steve Kerr, do you know? It's just, it's infuriating. Like I said, I'm not going to get mad about it.
Hold on. Is South Sudan in our group play too?
Yeah. We've been,
Serbia?
We scrimmaged all the teams in our groups, which I think is another reason that I'm hoping.
Also, what is Puerto Rico? How are you playing Puerto Rico? Aren't they a territory?
No, but
they are.
Well,
they're
not for the sake of the Olympics. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Grand Theft Alvarado led that team to getting in there.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So the thing is, like, again, I'm gonna reserve some of my judgment of Steve Kerr because these are exhibition games against teams that we're about to play when it matters in a week. So if we come out and just smoke these guys the second time around, then I'll definitely pull back a little bit. Like, all right, like fair enough. And I mean, these are exhibition games in Abu Dhabi and London, so maybe he's just like they want to see Steph Curry and LeBron James and Joel Embiid, and like then if it's like looks different and we look a lot better next week, then I'll be like, all right, again, this is why I don't overreact to exhibition game stuff, but they could have looked a little better.
Yeah, I wanted to get back to on the thing you said about Embiid, like the Team USA basketball, like offering him, and like again, this is I'm guessing speculation,
100%.
but like, what the fuck is? And this is a perfect segue into the Jaylen thing. Like, what the fuck is like? Who are the decision makers for Team USA? Is it just like
Grant Hill.
Nike? Like, I don't.
Grant Hill's the head of
It's
the
just
like
Grant
he's
Hill
like
just
the
gets to
president of the
pick?
team. I mean, I'm sure he has like there's a team of guys. I don't know who else was on it. Like I know Colangelo's used to be a part of it.
But it's just that's just crazy to me. If we're doing backdoor deals to just be like, hey, like we don't need Embiid that bad. We're not. It's not like we're.
I have no
So
idea if that's true.
I think we should run with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down to it. It's a cool one.
At first reported here.
It would make sense based on what I've seen on the court. That'd be the best explanation. Like that again. There could be a lot of things that we are blaming Steve Kerr, and they're not his fault at all. So if you're trying to defend Steve Kerr, I would definitely run with that. He's basically being held hostage by this deal they made with Embiid that he has to start. Because otherwise, if he thinks that starting him is still the best move, and he thinks that he's part of a big three on this team with Curry and LeBron,
that's
it might
crazy.
be time for Kerr to be put out to pasture.
Yeah, I don't. I just don't like that whole idea that it just seems like it's a. And maybe it's always been like this, and we're just like, well, I'm just like more in tune to it now to see, like, to kind of see. But I mean, I guess, yeah, because you can go to Isaiah Thomas being left off with Jordan or whatever. I guess if you had to think about some kind of comparison. But yeah, just sort of like, I don't like the idea that it's like a political like gamesmanship kind of thing where it's like, well, if you want to play for France, like, well, what made you a star? Like, it's like, what is it, like NIL or some shit? It's just like,
Seemingly. I just think it's so funny that Embiid wanted to like ring chase. Is like thinks this is his best chance.
Yeah, that is
to win.
I did
something.
love the Embiid ring chasing for a gold medal too, which like
almost makes you want to root against
gold
the
medal
USA. Just I love how that's the perfect out too.
Wow.
Where if USA loses, it's obviously like that's immediately the story.
Embiid,
yeah.
They lose. Yeah,
it's perfect.
If they don't make it to the semis,
if Kerr doesn't play the Celtics guys and they lose, like that's we win no matter what.
If we don't get to a conference final.
Yeah. Like, be kind of awesome. The team doesn't even matter.
I would love to see like the Drewski meme of like South Sudan makes the Olympic finals before Joel Embiid. With like the Drewski running away meme. That'd be great.
That would.
All right.
I can see it.
We'll roll that over a little bit into so we mentioned Kawhi maybe forced off the team, maybe
definitely forced
cut.
off the team.
We don't know. Something crazy happened. So Derek White goes in. I mean, honestly, when I first saw Kawhi go out, I thought Jaylen would be. I mean, I feel like Jaylen is just like a younger, like he's basically what we've said that like Jaylen may one day be Kawhi or may already be past like whatever that. But and it goes to Derek White, which obviously Celtic, you were pumped for Derek White. I think Jaylen made sure too to say that like Derek's my guy. Like I wasn't, I've reached out to him, I've had for him all that stuff. But just very bizarre. A lot of people immediately said it had to do with, so Jaylen had tweeted out that Nike, something about like, since when does Nike have morals? Nike obviously has a big role in it. Grant Hill made like a statement that basically kind of was sort of almost confirming without confirming that it was kind of like. It wasn't
denying.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't denying. And so Jaylen's off. He tweets out something too like, I don't fear you or your resources. I kind of love when he goes on these like sort of like, yeah, I don't know like what you would call like I don't know what not like a secret agent, but almost just like he just doesn't give a shit. He's just going.
Nor should he.
Yeah, but it's crazy. It's crazy that there's 3 Celtics on the team and one of them's not Jaylen Brown.
Right.
It's very bizarre.
It really
again,
is.
It's not a knock on Derek White or Drew Holiday or anyone like that, but it's just a kind of a bizarre like matter. Like because he's played for Team USA before, not the Olympics, but in other FIBA tournaments and stuff like that. So just real weird stuff. It seems like he's still enjoying his summer despite that.
Certainly
he's
does.
been kind of all over. We'll get into some of the stuff that he's been doing, but yeah, I mean, it's just kind of bullshit. Again, it goes into, like I said, I hate that it's like this, like it's now this like corporate, like political. And again, maybe it always was, and I just couldn't really tell from my other vantage point. But now that I'm in the media, I really can, I get to peel back the onion and say, "Ooh, this onion, this is a little bit rotten here."
Right. So I think there's a few things. I mean, first of all, White was named like as the replacement, I think, a long time ago. So when he was the guy, I think that was more of a formality. So it's just funny almost that Jaylen reacted like he must have known. Like I think everyone knew that if there was a replacement, it was going to be White already at that point, which to me, it's not so much about that. Like White, I think for a 12th man, like obviously we don't need to go into why White is the perfect guy to have there. To me, the issue should be with the guys picked before that. And we already mentioned some of them. Halliburton, who isn't going to play. Booker, who, again, I don't know why Curry's so obsessed with. Anthony Edwards is awesome, but, like, right now, Jaylen Brown is a better player. Jaylen Brown is a better player right now than Kawhi Leonard.
I guess it's like politics, I guess, yeah. Okay. They want him on there because he's, like, the new shiny guy.
Sure, but, I mean, again, Jaylen Brown, I would say you could argue, is one of the 12 best players in the NBA. He's easily one of the best 12 United States American players in the NBA. Arguably one of the top 5. Like, he could be starting on this team. We just saw him dominate. He just won the conference finals MVP and the finals MVP just over a month ago. He had as much acclaim to be on this team as anyone. This isn't some, like, Caitlin Clark situation where it's like, oh, they got to earn it. Like, he's earned it. He's 27 years old. He has done everything in the league. He's made an All-NBA. He's won finals MVP. Like, he should be on this team 100%. He's completely justified to feel the way he feels. And again, I don't think it was any personal swipe at White being the guy. I think it was more just like, this is an absolute joke that you look at some of the players on that team and then I'm not on it. And he's absolutely right. And I have no problem with him being pissed about it. People were like, oh, he shouldn't have done that. I was like, no, like, why not? He has every right to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
but again, I feel like,
why should he have not done
well,
that?
I think people thought,
like, who gives a shit?
I think the only argument would be that it's like makes it look like he's like mad at Derek or like not happy for him. But like you said, he was at the summer league game. Well, that was the funny thing. So everyone's like, oh, he's like mad at the Celtics. The next night, he's in Vegas sitting courtside at the Celtics summer league game. So that's really something you would do if you hated your team. And they interviewed him, and his first thing he said, he's like, the first thing I did after I saw the news, called Derek, told him I loved him. Which I love how Missoula has made that a thing now. I feel like it wasn't a thing before Missoula. Now
that they love each other.
Everyone just telling everyone they love them all the time. It's even carried over to others. Nice. I was watching the Red Sox last night, and they said like Alex Cora, he asked him what he said to a player, and he's like, I just called him, told him I loved him. It's like, I love that we've just normalized like everyone telling everyone how much they love them. It's like,
Chuddy, I love you, bud.
Love you, champ. But that was exactly like, it's just so funny, and it is like the team's not mad and all this stuff. Jaylen just happily saying when they're like, "You're gonna use this as motivation," he's like, "Yeah." So I just love how I feel like this part of this, again, a lot of stuff where it just seems you can do it and say it when you're the champs, and if you're not, it almost sounds a little like corny. But now it's like, we just won. Like, talk your shit, say all this stuff. You're right to say it, and you. And it's the funny thing is, it's like, you don't really fear at all them getting like complacent, because now Jaylen's gonna be so motivated again next year. It's just like, I mean, I feel bad for everyone else now that he's going to be this pissed off. With
like, is there some kind of like, there's got to be some kind of level where it's just like Nike just has to be like, shit, we have to have a guy who like ripped us apart on the team, right? Or is it like, is that kind of thing where you think you can just be like blacklisted for the team? Like, I mean, let's just say hypothetically the Celtics win like at least one more championship. Let's say like a year before, like, he wins like another, like, if he's like all NBA a couple more seasons, wins like another Finals MVP.
Right.
Like, at some point, I mean, you would think that we're already at that point. Like, how can he get it? Because, like you said, he just got All NBA the year before. Then he won Finals and Eastern Conference Finals MVP, all that shit to win a championship. So it's like we're almost already kind of at that point where it's like,
you would think,
what the fuck?
Right.
But I guess when they make out the roster earlier, we didn't know. He kind of had for people outside of the Celtics circle, kind of a big coming out year this year. But yeah, that's the thing that confused me, right, with the whole thing with it being Nike. It's just like, so is Nike just like, no matter what this guy does, we're just going to pretend he's not one of the best American players?
No, I don't think it's like that. Because, I mean, again, I think, well, the other interesting thing is, like we mentioned, with all these veterans, like, you'd have to think, like, the next to go around, like, there's certainly been no LeBron, no Curry, no Durant, no Kawhi. Obviously, he's already off the team. I mean, I highly doubt like Embiid's going to play again at 34. Like, it could be very few of these guys that are actually coming back.
Yeah,
and there is a little bit of a talent deficiency. Exactly. So it's already ridiculous he's not on this year's team. But I think in 4 years, assuming, things keep going the way they're going, like, I think it'll be one of those things where it's like, all right, now you can't leave him off the team without it being a huge, like, what the fuck? So we'll see. I mean, there are guys. It's not like everyone on the team is a Nike guy, too. So,
I'm not saying you have to. No, you don't have to necessarily be sponsored by Nike,
Right.
but I think when you with what he said, I mean, I don't know.
Well, people were comparing it to Kyrie, who made comments. It was like, I think it's a little different. Like, I can see the USA not bringing Kyrie.
He basically said what like everybody says about Nike behind Nike's back.
Right.
I mean,
so,
like everyone. We know the shoes aren't made in fucking Pennsylvania or some shit. There's no like shoe belt in the United States where all the shoes are manufactured. So, that's not a diss to Nike. They want to send us any JT3s. That's not a diss to Nike, but it's just kind of crazy. Like again, I don't know. No,
well, I'm glad you mentioned the JT shoe because I think that is another interesting dynamic. That while all this is going on, Tatum is like one of Nike's top faces of the company right now. Like, so,
yeah.
I mean, he's probably a little bit of an awkward spot. Like, I don't know, can't really come out publicly without bashing either his biggest sponsor or his teammate. Like, I don't know.
I saw that was kind of some of the red meat that some people were going with. Like, why isn't Tatum said anything? And it's just like, I don't know. I feel like Jaylen has to understand that. I mean, Tatum's never really been like he's never. No, I'm saying he doesn't. Tatum's never been like I don't know, like
ruffling feathers
there and like he's sort of like like almost like a little Michael Jordan, like Republicans buy sneakers too type thing. Like, I don't know, maybe not to the extent that Jordan was, because Jordan really didn't give a fuck. But I don't know. I think it's not that weird to me. It's pretty easy to understand. I don't think that those two. So. I mean, they've been saying good shit about each other all off season. So I think it's any chance to drive a wedge in the champs.
Yeah, people are grasping at straws at this point. Which I don't blame them. I would too. If I was a Celtics hater right now, like there's not much to pick at. So you gotta take what you can get. But
I mean, otherwise though, I think Jaylen's having a pretty solid summer. I think I just saw him doing. What did I just see him doing? Some like soccer player was like
he's with Real Madrid,
dribbling a ball,
Vinicius Jr.,
dribbling a ball,
one of the best players in the world.
Kicked it to like an alley oop to Jaylen. So he's done that. He was courtside with his girlfriend. Maybe girlfriends.
Maybe girlfriend, at least one.
We don't know. Yeah,
I mean,
which is good. He won the SP for best championship. Won the SP for best championship performance. What else? I saw him with some like friggin'
he met the Prince of Bahrain.
Emirate. Prince of Bahrain, is that what it is? Yeah. He completed his
pilgrimage,
like Hajj? Pilgrimage?
Like Umrah or something. Umrah or
something like that. Yeah.
Pilgrimage to Mecca though.
I haven't read the Quran in a bit.
Yeah, a little rusty.
But for him, that's big. Yeah, excited for him. I saw him doing something else. I don't know what I feel like it had to do something with water. It wasn't the weightlifting thing in the water that pissed everyone off last season. But I don't know. It has been like a summer. The only thing missing, I think, is like just walking through a park and having a frisbee disc fly towards you, and it's like Jaylen playing Frolf like Summer of George style.
I think that's
like
coming.
It's basically, we got to be due for that. If he's ever down, Chud, you and I were some pretty good disc golfers. If Jaylen ever wants to huck a little blasting, but
I think that would be good.
It seems like
good
he's
crossover for the juice brand. Little juice brand, Chuddy's Corner crossover event.
Let's make it happen. Have your people call our people.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Still waiting for Jaylen to get in touch with us to let us know who found his ring. I did offer a free Celtics erotica T-shirt to that person, so I'm probably getting some cool shit from him. But we have a Celtics erotica T-shirt. Anyone else can buy it in the Chuddy store, chuddyscorner.com, chuddyscorner.com. Again, that's why I think Jaylen. Like, I don't think he's that pissed about being left off because, like you said, he had to have known. But it was probably like one of those things where it was just kind of like, now that it's out there, now that it's like, like fuck it, I'm the champion. I'll just, I
think it's one of those things too.
Than I would normally.
I use this analogy a lot as I'm in my mid-30s, where I say, like, in terms of social life and like partying, it's like I don't want to go necessarily, but I still want to be invited. Like, I don't want people to not even invite me there. But I'm probably pretty content not attending. I think that's where he's at. Where it's just like, it is a snub and he has a right to feel this way, but I'm sure he's like, but like just partying across the globe all summer while they work their asses off and is like not awful. So
I forget where
these guys are so competitive. I'm sure he wants a gold medal.
He was in like Paris too. He did something in Paris too. That's why I'd seen him do something like that.
Yeah,
that was before the parade, I think, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
right.
Summer of Jaylen. He's having a good summer. But yeah, no, that's probably exactly it. Like, I could just like keep having to work all summer,
Right.
or
it's like
Fuck
hang out with
that.
my cool new girlfriend and go to all these like awesome events with billionaires and like
just be like a total star. Yeah,
Right.
Just bringing the trophy around all those places. So,
Yeah.
Shout out to Jaylen.
solid
Good summer.
consolation prizes going on for the guy.
It's better. Yeah, honestly, it's better than the whole Olympics bullshit. That's a
It
pain.
is. I just, if he wants a
It's a
gold
lot.
medal, he deserves to have one. So that's the only part that's
Mm-hmm.
really annoying. But
Yeah.
again, not a huge
He's got to
deal.
be on the team next year.
And also, so funny to look back. You mentioned that like stuff that pissed people off. Remember last summer when he signed that contract and he was at like over in like Japan doing like racing cars, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!" Like, he got paid. He's not going to work on anything. Came back like by far the best year of his career. So just funny when to remember, because I know I haven't seen it, but I'm sure there are people already out there looking like, "Oh, he won Finals MVP and now he's just out partying, doesn't care about anything." It's like, at what point do we just realize like he's the hardest fucking worker? Like, that's whatever.
Yeah,
that just reminded me of that, how hilarious of a narrative that was for 5 minutes.
Yeah, people were pissed underwater like weights. They're like, he needs to practice dribbling.
Right.
Yeah.
Left hand.
Dude. Yeah, people are fucked. People are dumb.
Psychotic.
Truly. All right. Summer Jaylen. What else do we when we did the last show? We talked about Paul George. He was already on Philly.
Yep,
on
we
Philly,
did.
Right.
Yeah,
So
no
what
like
I mean,
major signings. They had a Caleb Martin. They had a Caleb Martin, which is a nice, solid move for them. Fill out that lineup, I think. I still think they're like a guy or two short. I don't know. For some reason, that team just doesn't super scare me. The Knicks, I mean, obviously Brunson, nice deal for them. Still solid looking team, but still desperately need a center. I think if you want me to take them real seriously, they could probably go add one somehow, but they're still, I think it's going to be weird bringing Julius Randle back in now with all the Nova boys. Where does he fit? How's that going to play out? They still, again,
it's going to be so awkward.
Lacking a center. So I think that could be tougher than some people think. Again, I think the Magic and the Pacers are coming. I think those two teams are definitely coming. And I also think at this point, everyone's kind of sleeping on the Bucks. Still probably have the best player in the conference. And honestly,
I'm
like
definitely sleeping on the Bucks.
Yeah, but I wouldn't. I think they're still right behind this. I think it's Celtics are at a tier of their own, and after that, I think if you actually ask me who do I fear the most out of any team left, I think it's still probably the Bucks, just because they have Giannis, Dame and Middleton and Lopez. I mean, they're old, but if those guys can stay healthy, which is fair to ask of any of the other teams in the East, so it's not like that's, you scoff at that because you're saying the same thing about Philly, same thing about the Knicks, whatever. Like all these teams need to stay healthy, but when you factor they all could stay healthy, that Bucks team, when healthy, like I still think is probably the second best team. I thought they had nothing to work with this offseason. I didn't love their draft, but getting Gary Trent Jr. on a vet minimum, like that's a really good deal for him to be their fifth starter. That's like quietly was a sneaky, awesome move. DeLon Wright and Taurean Prince on vet minimums too. Like that's aren't the sexiest moves, but remember just this Bucks team last year would play them and be like, they have no good players. And now they actually have like 8 or 9 real NBA players who are decent and aren't just like, they're not putting in guys who are just, you're embarrassed to see on the court. And again, they still have arguably the best player in the world, certainly the best player in the conference. So I think people are sleeping on the Bucks. I think that's probably the biggest threat to the Celtics in the East right now. Gun to my head, if you make me pick a team. I don't know. You seem like you might feel differently.
Well, no, yeah, I don't necessarily fear the Bucks. I think that Giannis is definitely.
I don't fear anyone.
Right. Okay. Maybe fear is not my word. Like I don't think as highly of the Bucks. I guess. I mean, I just think, fucking Embiid. I just don't trust. Like, I'm sorry, Giannis. I don't necessarily trust that he's gonna come back and really be the kind of the player that he was. I feel like he's just like this huge. Wasn't he injured? Like this whole like what was he doing this whole year? Wasn't he injured for like
even like fourth in MVP?
He barely.
He got hurt right before just bad timing. But I mean, it's not like an injury that he's not going to come back from. He's been top 5 in MVP like 6 years in a row. I don't think we have to worry about him like having some.
And then 1 year, eventually, he's not going to be. He's not going to retire in consecutive top 6s in the MVP. Eventually, there's going to have to be a time that he's not top 6. And I'm saying that I think maybe it could be this year. I don't know. I mean, again, this is speculation. I don't have I don't have like a crystal ball. I'm not like guaranteeing it. You asked me what I thought.
All right, but so what? So what East team are you more confident in them than the Bucks and Giannis? That isn't the Celtics. Who is a bigger threat to us?
I mean, I don't know. I guess the Knicks, I would say maybe, but I don't really. Again, I don't think there's really any threat to us in the East.
I just think if the Knicks and
say
Bucks
maybe it's
play
the Knicks.
fully
guess,
healthy, the Bucks would beat them.
I guess I can get what you're saying, where it's sort of like a tier. Celtics in the first year, and then it's the Sixers, the Knicks, and Philly. Sixers, Knicks, and the Bucks. My brain's fucking a noodle right now. But so I guess I don't like resoundingly disagree with what you said about the Bucks. I don't know. And again, before you say it's just me, I'm looking right now. They're the fourth best odds to win the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
Celtics, Sixers at plus 425, Knicks at plus 450, Bucks at plus 600. So I'm not the only one that kind of feels this way. The Bucks might be slightly.
My whole point was that they're being slept on. Was my whole point. But I'm saying the Knicks and Philly made these flashy, sexy moves,
but I think
and everyone's all about them.
Be...
And I don't know that they've even. Everyone's talking about them trying to keep up with the Celtics.
Fair.
I don't even know if they passed the Bucks. Is my point. I think the Bucks moves weren't sexy,
I understand what you're saying,
but they did a good job of just actually solidifying their depth with real NBA players, and I think they still have like the best guys at the top.
So I agree with what
they're
you're saying.
They're the forgotten team, and I don't think
in
they
that
should.
regard. If you told me who, I guess just based on, I think the sleeping might be fair that people are sleeping. It might be a reasonable amount of rest on the Bucks, but I do think, like, given that what the odds are, where they're plus 600 and the other ones are closer to plus 400, if I had to bet a team besides the Celtics, I might take them just for that extra value.
Yeah,
because I don't think that they may not necessarily be that far apart. But I do. I don't know. I do think that team could go the other way though. Because
definitely.
I don't know. I think Damian Lillard is just not the guy he used to be.
That's
and I don't think
certainly true.
You know, he's another year older.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, again, it'll be interesting. I feel like there's always a team too that you kind of don't expect. I think the Magic will be better than a lot of teams think that they'll be this year. That could be a team that kind of creeps into that second tier.
Magic, Cavs, Pacers. People are just ignoring those teams too.
Yeah. I like all those teams too. So
East is solid.
I guess that's kind of my point. They'd be in that tier below, but I can see them giving those guys problems. So
yeah, definitely.
I already kind of went on about Philly. I think that Philly is just like I would like they're the second best odds. I don't agree with that. That I just feel like there's always gonna be Philly. Like I don't think that adding Paul.
Name
how
value.
many times has Paul George gone to a team and been like this team now is Paul George and then nothing happens. So
they won the offseason.
The team that really does worry me and the odds agree with it too is I think the Thunder. It's just the things the Thunder did this offseason that I'm saying to you know our championship hopes. So I did just see too while I'm on here you can bet the Celtics to win 3 straight. I feel like I have to do that.
Love it.
I feel like I have to throw something on that.
Why not?
But yeah, I mean, I think again, I think a lot of people, it was a lot of keeping up with the Joneses, and like I think us just signing everyone we did still gives us like maybe the best offseason. I mean, we just re-signed the team that just dominated the NBA, so it's like it's not flashy because it's all of our own guys, but it's like, I mean, if some other team happened to sign the entire Celtics roster, people would be saying, wow, that team really made a splash this offseason.
I would say so. But
do it that way, yeah. We did a total swap, you know.
I mean, the thing with the Thunder, I think, obviously, they were the 1 seed last year, so it's not like they were, you know, it's not crazy to say they're going to be the best. Right. But I'm saying, I think the moves they made solidified that even more. Caruso and Hartenstein, obviously, great fits.
They got the things I said that they needed. They were a 1 seed, right? But going into it, it was kind of like they don't have.
They raised their floor.
They got the 1 seed.
I think they raised their floor a ton.
I think they're now better. They're better built for the playoffs. I think they could be the 1 seed again. Yes. But I think now going into it, I'll feel better about them in the playoffs.
Yeah, but I think to me the thing with the Thunder is still kind of their ceiling, and like they're still, for a team that's contending for a title, asking a lot from Chet and J-Dub, who are going to be in their 2nd and 4th years in the league. So they don't. They kind of don't have that conventional true number 2 guy behind Shea. So I wonder if that'll be their undoing. It kind of was this year in the playoffs. They didn't really have another guy rise up on offense to take that number 2 load. J-Dub kind of disappeared. Chet was solid, but I mean, that's again, a rookie is asking a lot in the 2nd round of the playoffs. So that to me will still be the biggest thing for them once the playoffs start. Who's going to step it up? Will those guys look better with some experience? Are they still a year away? Are they even still a guy away? But they'll be really good on paper. Yeah, that team is pretty stacked.
Yeah. All right. I just like one of the thing that I want to talk about. I don't know if you had anything about I don't think we had a whole lot of extra free agent stuff to add for other teams building and stuff like that.
Mostly just small signings, teams filling out their rosters at this point.
Yeah. TNT, I saw Matt. So like they matched the Amazon offer. I'm hoping do you understand what this means? Does that mean that I saw someone say the NBA now has to choose? Is that what it is? There's no it's not like if we match it, you have to take us. The NBA just
I don't think it's like restricted free agency.
More? Who do I love?
Right.
Like, do you love me? Do you love me not?
So I don't. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not going to pretend to know a ton about this, but that was my understanding too. Is that basically it is up to the NBA. I also saw someone saying that now Amazon, I guess it is who they're matching, right? Is Warner Brothers. I don't even know who's running all these.
Yeah, I think they're all in a loop.
Yeah, but I guess someone was saying their hammer move that they can go to is to offer all of the money up front because I guess TNT is cash poor or something. And that might win. So I don't know.
So scummy.
Yeah, I don't know how this plays out.
I hate that. It's like when someone goes with a cash offer on a house. It's like, you motherfucker.
Right.
Amazon's just going to buy the friggin' rights package and rent it out to an Airbnb. It's going to be fucking brutal.
Maybe.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
So I saw that and I got excited because I was hoping that
it's
we all want inside the NBA to be saved.
I feel like everyone thought there was like a 0 chance, and now it's like, oh, there's definitely a chance. So we'll see. And, I mean, sports leagues are not usually
so funny.
Well, if that's true, I don't know if that's exactly true, but
and also if you're Amazon, why don't you just be like what was the deal, like 1.8 billion? Why
wouldn't it just be a bidding war?
1.8 billion and $1.
Right.
Just that they should do a televised actual auction. That'd be just pretty fun to say.
Yeah, and on that note, did you see James Dolan's letter to the league bitching about the TV rights deals?
No, but
he wrote an angry letter, basically saying that he thinks this is, a terrible road to go down. And it's a bad model, that it's going to ruin all the regional sports networks and coverage, and that it's all just going to be
Well, because of all the nationally televised games.
Yeah, well, he was saying now he only has 23 games to sell to his channels. And he's like, it's going to hurt those local stations. It's going to hurt the local sponsorship deals.
Hold on. Does that mean there's only going to be 23 games on NBC Sports this year for the Celtics?
I don't know the exact numbers, but I mean, yeah, it's probably going to be diminished, I would imagine.
That's down from what? I feel like they do at least 60 or 65 every year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the exact numbers, and it's Dolan, so he's an idiot. But I don't know.
I feel like the Knicks are one of those teams that randomly get picked for a lot of nationally televised games.
Well, yeah, exactly. And they're also probably one of the few teams that makes a shitload of money off of their channel and their court and all that stuff. So they want that to keep rolling. Whereas it's probably more money, which is what he was saying. It takes away the advantages. But I forget. I wish I knew who to credit. But someone was immediately like, well, if you think that, then sell the Knicks and buy the Grizzlies. But
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
There's just something different.
Just thought it was interesting. But again, obviously more money for everyone in the league, but it did get me to thinking damn, I hope he's not right. It doesn't just all become these 3 or 4 national channels. Cause I mean, that would suck to lose NBC Sports, and it's cool having all the local guys. It wouldn't be the same if every game was nationally televised and that was the only option we had. That would suck. So, I don't know if this was the worst person made a good point situation, or maybe
I fucking hate when that happens.
He could just be spouting off, and I'm sure this is just his greed of not being able to capitalize as much on the New York market as he was.
Okay, so this is the Celtics last year had 25 nationally televised games, so that's still, so that's about 57. Is that?
Yeah, but I would venture to say that a good chunk of those were still on the RSN.
We're still on, yeah. So you have to. So I mean, if it is a thing where the Comcast or NBC Sports is only getting 25 games, but again, his is weird because he owns the channel that the Knicks are on too. I don't know if it's so maybe he's usually some other games maybe he tries to it would be if we tried to sell half of our normal regional to some other channel too that's in the New York area or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. He is sketchy. Yeah, he's sketchy. So who knows? I was actually saying too that the fact that what's his name Brunson signed that deal, does James Dolan just like not hang around the Knicks like anymore? Like it's crazy that they could know who the owner is and want to like do right by the owner. It's crazy.
Well, first of all, for whatever reason, like most players have said they love Dolan. Like I think he's just an idiot, but he like wants to win and spends, and I think always tries to like take care of his own guys. He's just like obviously a weirdo.
Yeah.
I mean, the obviously other thing with Brunson is, his dad is like the assistant coach on the team, and is like godfather. Leon Rose is the guy who like runs the team. So it's like basically a family business. That was why all the jokes were like, Rick Brunson, new contract today, $20 million a year, like an assistant, or like whatever.
Oh, Jesus.
There's a lot of weird stuff going on with that. But also at the end of the day, like I think kind of like what we led with it with the Hauser thing, but I think it was Brunson originally who it's like he's still signed for like $250 million.
Right. Yeah.
He's gonna be
Still
fine.
showing up on it.
And again, is it really worth it to risk on one more year when again this guy's tiny guy whose body takes a beating? Like guards like that don't always age well. Like everyone's saying, oh, he's doing them some huge favor, this and that. Like I think there's a chance a couple years from now we're looking at that deal like Jesus Christ, he makes how much? So
yeah,
I don't think it's like that crazy or that big of a discount that people are talking about. Like it looks good in the moment, but I don't know. You never know how that'll age. He's not some spring chicken either. Right. I mean, he's already like 28, so.
Oh yeah, he's up there. All right, yeah. Do you got anything else that we haven't covered so far?
No, I think that's mostly it, right? I don't know if I'm missing something or other, but I feel like we hit on most of the things that have been going on. Yeah. It's a lot for a couple weeks of the summer.
A lot
really
going on.
Doesn't die down.
Yeah, no, we definitely. So yeah, we definitely we had an idea about doing very regularly summer shows, but we both kind of slipped into a little bit of summer break mode. We had some vacation time in there, so
I think we can get back to a weekly schedule though.
I think gotta go. Yeah,
we can keep the shows a little shorter when we're doing
the Olympics. Going to give us a lot of stuff to talk about, so we can still be doing some Olympic stuff. People can always leave voicemails too at chuddyscorner.com if they have specific things they want us to talk about, stuff like that. But yeah. No, it's good to be back. Good to get back in the groove.
Amen. Training camp will be here before you know it.
My light, so I'm surprised the light has lasted as long as I hadn't plugged it in. And so this thing's like pretty top of the line up here.
Impressive.
Shout out the light. Yeah. So yeah, we'll be back soon. Just if you subscribe to the pod, you never have to worry because you just get automatic updates. So make sure you're subscribing to the pod.
If you don't,
make sure
you have to worry.
If you don't, you'll just be worrisome.
You'll be in a constant state of worry.
Worried sick.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead and do that. Subscribe on every platform. That way you don't have to worry about missing it anywhere. Go to Twitter or X, whatever you call it, and follow at Chuddy's Corner. We're creeping up around over about 1,600 followers. So let's get that up to 2. I want that up to 2. So everyone, if you listen to the pod, retweet the tweet, tell your best friend, and tell your best friend to tell 3 of their best friends.
Tell your enemies. Fuck it.
Tell your enemies too. That's true. And if you want us to chirp your enemies, just let us know. We'll say something on the pod. If you got some enemies that cheer for another team, we'll bury them. And yeah, make sure you check out at King Chuddy. That's Chuddy's Twitter. At Doug_outs. That's mine. Shout out the sponsor, Nick Perino, Real Estate. Nick blew the conch shell, got us back in the studio. So check out nickperino.com. He's got all your real estate needs covered. Big, small, little, worldwide, global, anywhere. Nick will help you out. He knows everyone. Got me and Chuddy in our houses. So hit him up. Oh, I think last time we recorded too, I was going golfing with the sponsor afterwards. So that was the last time. So that was the last time I golfed too. That seems like forever ago.
Any ownership
Played very well in the first 4 holes. And he had commented that I didn't bring anything to drink with me. Kind of called me like a pussy for it.
Oh, wow.
He doesn't drink at all. But so I got my head. 5th hole, cart girl's there. Buy a drink, take 1 sip.
All downhill.
Tee shot off the 5th hole. Top the shit out of it. Awful. Played terrible the rest of the day. Just gets
That's
in your
Nick
head.
For you.
So, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. He's
competitive.
Yeah, he had every edge. I don't know. Just 1 sip of the sweet elixir and your brain, you're just not focused. Now I'm thinking of everything else.
There you go. It'll get
Anything but golf.
It'll get you.
Shout out the sponsor, except for that. No more trying to impress him. No more trying to be cool.
Yeah, no.
And yeah, check out Chuddy'sCorner.com. Check out the merch store. You get this Banner 18 2024 champs shirt in there.
Hell yeah.
Celtics Erotica t-shirt. I love that shirt. All types of stuff in there, so make sure you check that out. And that's been our long-winded end of the show. Chuddy, we'll see you again soon. Everybody else, take care.
Peace out, Chuddy Heads.